A clash of styles in the 1959 Candidates tournament, Paul Keres facing the magician from Riga Mikhail Tal.
The English opening is a subtle choice for Keres. He's avoiding the theoretical minefields and opting for a slow-burn strategic build-up.
Keres pushes the f-pawn to f4 early on.
That's a bold commitment. He's claiming kingside space, but he's also creating some permanent heir around his own king.
The center opens up with a shocking knight sacrifice on d5.
Typical Tal, he's not playing for a draw. He's buying an initiative with a piece, and the heat map is already leaning heavily blue.
Tal moves the rook to b8, eyeing the queen side.
He's preparing a breakthrough. Tal doesn't just move pieces, he builds tension until the position has to snap.
And another one, Tal sacrifices the bishop on b2.
He's tearing apart the queen side. It's a high-wire act, but he's convinced the white coordination is gone.
Black plays e6, solidifying the center.
The board is perfectly balanced right now. A rare moment of calm in a Tal game before the storm returns.
Tal strikes again, sacrificing a knight on e5.
Look at that heat map, it's gone purple. It's a genuine battleground now, with both sides fighting for the same central squares.
Tal pushes the pawn to b4, gaining space on the queen side.
He's trying to squeeze Keres. This is the critical phase where the colours are most volatile. One slip and the board flips.
Tal pushes c4, challenging the white structure.
He's not giving Keres a second to breathe. It's a classic Tal squeeze, force the decision or suffocate.
Tal retreats the bishop to a8.
Deceptively passive, but look at the colours, white is starting to paint the board red. Keres is finally seizing control.
Tal strikes with a knight sacrifice on e3.
Classic Tal. He's shattering the pawn shield to create chaos, and the board has swung violently back to blue.
Tal's queen captures the pawn on h4.
The white king is suddenly very exposed. Keres is fighting for survival in a very dangerous neighbourhood.
Tal brings the rook into the attack with a check on d8.
The pressure is immense. Tal is playing with the confidence of someone who has already seen the checkmate.
Tal throws away a rook on c1.
He's clearing the path. He doesn't want a trade, he wants a clear line to the king at any cost.
Keres moves the queen to c7, eyeing the black position.
Keres is starting to find his footing. He stopped the bleeding and is now looking for his own counter-targets.
And the queens are gone, a stunning sacrifice on d5.
Wait, why would he do that? He's completely neutralized his own attacking potential just to change the geography of the board. It's a massive shift that turns the board red.
Keres develops the bishop to b5.
He's restricting the black rook. In the endgame, these small constraints are often more important than material.
Tal checks the king on c3 with the rook.
Tal is trying to maintain activity. If he can't attack the king, he'll attack the pawns.
Tal brings the rook to c5.
He's fighting for the c-file, but the heat map shows white is still dominant. The red is too pervasive.
Keres penetrates with the rook to c7.
The rook on the 7th is a monster. Keres has transitioned from surviving to dominating.
Tal's king moves to d6.
The king is trying to help, but it's a bit too late. The coordination of white's pieces is simply superior.
Keres captures the pawn on a5.
Material advantage and positional dominance. Keres is just tidying up the board now.
Tal pushes the h-pawn to h5.
A last-ditch effort for counterplay. The board looks balanced again, but it's a false equivalence. White's passed pawn is the real story.
Keres advances the a-pawn to a5. A final flourish, a rook sacrifice on f1.
A masterclass in resilience. Tal provided the fireworks, but Keres provided the precision.